The IKEA Knycklan, which is the electronic dishwasher valve, stopped working. The green light is blinking, which should have supplied water to the dishwasher, but it does not. And the panic beeps. There is good water pressure though. Anyways, I think I found a perfect excuse to fix a long standing annoying problem with the IKEA Havsen sink. I must admit that I was carried away with the industrial architecture and went with this farmhouse style sink, but there is one major issue. It has a high lip. Because of this, the water gets locked behind it and it creates a mess to clean. Let's start dismantling the tap. Oh, wait, I did not tell you how I was going to fix the annoying problem. I'm going to build a tiled bridge from back of the sink to the wall. And just to make it even more challenging, I must tell you that I have absolutely zero tiling experience. I'm using a Wedi board here. Actually, not exactly that brand, but it's a Ultrament board from Bauhaus. It's completely waterproof and it provides a solid base for tiling. I had bought the Subway Metro bevel tiles, although I would not go for this if I would do this next time. I'll tell you why at the end of the video. But this is how the dry fitting looks after all the tiles have been cut to correct sizes. I almost panicked a bit when dealing with the mortar and making those ridges, but I guess it turned out okay. But now it is time to let it dry overnight and then I'll start with the grouting work. Now that all the grouting work was done and dried, it was time to fit the tap. I went in for a budget tap from Yamofix. Yamofix is a budget hardware store in Sweden. The tap costs about 800 crowns and has a manual dishwasher valve. We decided to go with a manual one since we didn't want to spend more money or deal with similar issues we had with IKEA Knycklan. I think it's a decent enough tap. Hopefully, it should work fine. Wedi board and the tiling made up more than about 20 mm of height, which is too much for caulking. So I used some leftover metal L profiles at the edges. So this is how it turned out eventually. Not amazing, but decent enough for a first timer. Now coming to the problem with the subway bevel tiles. As you can see, the grout lines are thicker. This is because the subway tiles already have beveled edges, and I also made the mistake of using 3 mm gap. This makes the grout even bigger. It was quite messy to deal with when grouting. I was almost regretting why I did this. But, anyways, yeah, I would have avoided probably doing this whole grouting work if I were to do this next time. Maybe get a big tile that completely supports the back of this sink. Anyways, it was time to get the refund from IKEA. Oh, by the way, the Knycklan from IKEA has gone out of their product lines, and as I understood, there's no plan to even bring it back or support it with a better equivalent product. Maybe that's the reason they are okay with the refund for the whole tap and dishwasher valve. That's it for this video, and if you also have an IKEA Havsen sink and are having some similar issues, let me know in comments how you solved the problem. Thanks for watching.